Hello, you guys. Okay, let's get real. Let's get real. As always, I'm so excited you guys are here. I want to talk to you today about another awesome topic that I cover regularly. We study it actually in Thinking into Results. And it is called The Common Denominator of Success, is actually the article. But it has so many juicy nuggets in it that I wanted to just lean in with you guys. Let's just like pull up a chair. Okay. Have you ever wondered why in the world, when success is available to every single person, that not everybody reaches it? And success looks different to everyone. I know that's what you're going to say. Well, Delay, my success isn't your success. That's fine. But do you feel successful? Have you reached success? Right? Oh, well, I guess I'm not. Most aren't. Right? To like when you talk to like managers and teachers and parents, right? Most crazy questions that they get confronted with. Right? And many are going to say to you that it's like a rhetorical question. Like there is no answer because everybody has their different level of success. But there is an answer. And it's very clear. Okay? And maybe you've already heard the answer. If you have if you have access to the Common Denominator of Success, I encourage you to read it. But there's actually it's a speech delivered by Albert E.N. Gray, and he delivered this speech in Philadelphia. And this speech was actually called The Common Denominator of Success. Okay, and he explained that success is something achieved by the minority of people. So it's therefore very unusual and not to be achieved by following our usual likes and dislikes. Nor will it be by being guided by our natural preferences and prejudice. In other words, success cannot be achieved by doing what comes naturally. Okay, if barely anybody reaches it, that means it's not natural, right? So if something's not natural, you have to do the opposite of what comes natural to you in order to achieve it. Did you pick up what I'm putting down? The common denominator of success is forming the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. And I remember the very first time I heard that quote, right? Successful people do the things that failures don't like to do. It's like, yeah, we do. And it used to get me all pumped up. I didn't think I really got it. Successful people do the things that do not come naturally. And if something doesn't come on naturally, you can bet your ass it's uncomfortable. It doesn't necessarily feel great when you're doing it. It feels so uncomfortable, right? Successful people form the habit. Again, habit, not a one-time deal, not like, well, this one time, I went skydiving and like people don't really do that. No. It's a one-time deal. Unless you're skydiving every day, then we'll talk. Okay? They form the habit, something they do every day, of doing the things that failures don't like to do. Okay? And he asked why successful people like doing the things that make them successful. The truth is, successful people, they don't like doing the things. They don't. But this is exactly why they formed the habit of doing them to begin with. Okay, a habit is something you do without conscious thought. Okay, it's in your subconscious mind, right? This is our thinking mind, our conscious mind, but it's controlling us 4% of the time. Okay, we take stuff in through what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, but then we don't do anything with it. It doesn't put us into action. Our subconscious mind controls us 96% of the time, sometimes up to 98% of the time, and it's what puts us into action. Okay, this is your habit thinking. This is your paradigm. So a habit is something that you do without even thinking about it, right? Like I don't need to think to tie my shoes. I don't need to think to like get up, wash my face, brush my teeth. I don't need to think to do it. Half the damn time I'll drive somewhere sometimes. I'm like, I'm here. Does anybody, has that happened to anybody? You're like, oh, geez, I'm here already. You don't have to think about it. You automatically do it. Okay. Successful people are influenced by the desire for the results they get. They desire their results so badly that this is their driver. Okay. Whereas people that aren't getting successful results are influenced by the desire for pleasing activities. Did you catch the difference? They are inclined to be satisfied with such results that can be obtained by doing things that they like to do. Right? Like make a list of 6 activities you know that give you success that you get. Okay? Commit to doing these things religiously for 30 days and they will become habitual. 30 days to form a habit. Right? And as William James put it, you'll wake up one day and find you're one of the competent ones of your generation. Okay? You need to understand what these common denominators are that successful people do. Okay, the secret of success of every person who has ever been successful lies in the fact that they formed the habit of doing things that failures don't like to do. Okay? It is just as true as it sounds. It's just as simple as it seems. Okay? It will explain why people have gone into business, whether they're working for somebody else or their own business, have every letter at the end of their name, have all the experience and qualifications, right? On paper, they look like a freaking rock star, but then have nothing but flops. While others who have achieved huge success on paper, right? You hear about like Steve Jobs dropped out of college to grow a computer company in his garage. I'm sure at the time everyone was like, good for you, Steve. Good job, buddy. I bet you that was really uncomfortable for him. Elon Musk, same story, right? Some very obvious handicaps. But you want to get a really good idea once you know where you're going and you take the big all-embracing secret, the common denominators, and break it down to fit your goal, right? Guys, I've said the secret like a million times. The secret is doing things that failures don't like to do. So boil down that process. and determine what are the things that failures don't like to do. They don't like to do things that don't come natural to them. We've got to realize right from the start that success is something which is achieved by the minority of people and therefore is unnatural. And it cannot be achieved by the things that we do naturally. He says that the things that failures don't like to do in general are too many and too obvious for us to discuss. But they're so obvious. And when you really dive into this, you can't help but see them right in front of you. Okay? Every single qualification for success is acquired through habit. Do you know your habits? Do you know your goals? Do you know where you're going? First, you have to know where you're going. Then you have to acquire the habits that are going to get you there. And people form habits, and habits form futures. But if you don't deliberately form good habits, then you are unconsciously forming bad ones. Nature abhors a vacuum. Okay? If you everything, which means everything's filled all the time. So if you say, "Oh, drinking at the bar every day, that's not going to get me to my goal. I'm going to stop that." But then you walk across the street to the casino and start gambling, probably not going to serve your goals either. Okay? I want to quit smoking so that I'm so much healthier, but then you replace a cigarette with a burger or coffee 8 days a week. Probably not going to serve your health either. Right? Nature abhors a vacuum. You have to take the habits that do not serve you and replace them with ones that do. You are the kind of person you are because you have formed the habit of being that kind of person. You have formed the habit. You were programmed, right? That's how we develop our paradigm in those first 8 years, right? But then you kept that habit nature going. And you can change it through shifting your paradigms, right? But the success habit for any area of achievement, regardless of what you want to do, okay? You can shift it through adopting 4 habits: contacting habits, calling habits, persuading habits, and working habits. That's it. That's it. That's all. Any successful person will tell you that it's a lot easier to persuade someone to a particular course of action than it is to find someone that already wants to do it. Right? But if you haven't formed the habit of deliberately contacting those who need whatever you're offering, regardless of their wants, then unconsciously you form the habit of limiting your contacts to the people who already have it. Right? Break down those habits and adopt them as your own. Your purpose must be practical and not just a visionary. Okay? You have to know where you're going and you have to align your habits, and they are going to be uncomfortable. They're going to be so uncomfortable. That's what I tell people when someone new signs on as a client, and I'm like, that was actually the easiest decision you ever made. It's the easiest thing I'm going to ask you to do, because the rest is going to get uncomfortable. And I'm not serving you if I'm like catering to your paradigms all the time. Right? If you are looking to maximize and get uncomfortable and do the things that failures don't want to do, you're going to want to get a coach to help you through that. It is not something that you want to tackle on your own. Because chances are, if you were meant to have those things, everything that you desired, you'd already have them. If you had the right to go along with it. Right? I want you guys, anybody that's following along here, I want you to know that you deserve to be successful. You just got to get out of your own way. It's that simple. And when you get out of your own way and start to do the things that do not come naturally to you, then here's where you can step into the magic. And that doesn't mean that the work you're supposed to be doing, right? Like your purpose, right? I'm not talking about your purpose, your vision for your life, your goals. Okay. Those are things that the chances are those do come naturally to you. It's becoming those things, becoming the person that has those, that's achieving those goals. That's not what comes naturally to you. You're not programmed like that until you reprogram yourself to be that person, to become that person who's achieving and crushing those goals. Until that happens, though, you're going to find yourself spinning your wheels. You're going to say, come on, I'm getting uncomfortable. This is, I read this book and I went to this course and I listened to Delyn on Facebook. I've been following your stuff, right? That works on a conscious level. We see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. But your body is connected to your subconscious mind. It's not connected to your conscious mind. So you can read, trust me, I read all the books, went to all the courses, did all the things, and didn't get the results that I wanted. You start reprogramming this, that's the money spot. That's the golden nugget. That's the golden ticket. When you pre-program this to match where you are going, you just got down to the root of what's getting you your results. That's what you just did. So good, right? I'm going to link up my calendar for you guys. I first want you to identify what it is that you want. What do you want? And when you know what you want, and you set a goal for yourself, I want you to set up a call with me and we'll go over that goal. I love talking to people about their goals, but I want to make sure you have the right goals to get you moving in the right direction. I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to get there. Okay? I look forward to chatting with you guys. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me.